All right. Well, welcome class. This is Mr. Savino, your Algebra 1 teacher, and we're jumping into day 3 right off the bat. We're going to be looking into linear equations, so really starting to dig into actually problem solving. We got to do some stuff about learning about algebra as a whole in the past, the history of algebra, where it comes from, why we want to study it, why it's important for our lives. And so now we're going to be really digging in with some stuff that you guys have dealt with in the past and the stuff in the future. So as you can see on the screen, on Canvas, you're going to have day 3, which is called linear equations, and then the group assignment. A little bit of information on the linear equations, just kind of prepping you for class, talking about the assignment that we'll be doing today. So, but I want to just do some PowerPoint slides really quick before you, so we can dive in. So, we will begin with those shortly. All right, so we're going to be solving literal equations, and we'll dive into a quick one, and then we'll be able to do an assignment on it. This is the basic standard of that. You students kind of don't need to deal with this, but that's for my TN Ready stuff. So the first question I want you guys to think about is these two equations listed below for the indicated variable. So solve for x, solve for b. We're going to see how we would actually do that in the materials, right? So I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what that would look like myself. And then you guys are going to be doing something similar when we do in our group assignment. So as you know, with solving for x, and you might be able to see my face, sorry, but for solving for x, you're going to want to do as we always done, right? Which is, of course, you're going to first want to add 4 on both sides. So that's the first thing you do. And that'll give us 3x equals 8 plus 4, which is 12. And then we divide by 3 on each side, and that would give us 4. So, of course, we're going to divide by 3, and then do the same over here as well. Right? So you all know how to do that. Oops, sorry. Divide by 3. You all know how to do that, and this would be our solution. This is the second part of the question. Solve for b. And as you can see, we're not seeing any numbers. And that is the interesting thing about this problem. This is where you're going to be stretching your mind, your brain today in this group assignment. And I want you guys to wrap your head around this idea that doing it this way, solving for letters, solving for variables, is actually going to open you up to be able to solve many problems and not just a specific problem. So how I would do this is the exact same way. As you can see, we start off with adding c on both sides, just like we did with 4. And this ensures that we're taking the right method to solving this equation. So now we have AB equals D plus C. And then once we get there, if we're solving for B, we have to make sure that we divide A on both sides. And now we have B is equal to, of course, cross that out. B is equal to D plus C over A. That is our answer. And that is essentially the same thing we did before, but now with numbers. So that's what we are doing. It's different because they're certainly numbers, but it's actually the same thing. And so that is what we're doing for our group assignment, right? It seems so crazy that these equations are so similar. It seems wild, but this is actually how we do our project. And so today we're going to have an in-class group assignment about literal equations, which are what these are, these letters, literal letters, using Jamboard. Google has a tool called Jamboard, and you can view it under day 3. And we will work on that assignment together in groups, and then it'll show you, just like I did here, what it looks like to solve a literal equation and then using numbers to figure out different components. So that's what we'll dive into, and I hope you guys have a lot of fun together.